All right. This is an exclusive interview with Apostle John Sagoe Team about the mission work in Ghana. Apostle John Sagoe, welcome. Please, we would like to know, why did you decide to start NIC International School? What is the reason behind it?
Wow, thank you for that question. The reason behind NIC International School actually goes all the way back to the year 1993, when I had a dream. And in that dream, I saw myself, running around in a very big field in Ghana, playing with children. And I saw myself playing with children. It was a very glorious dream. I have never been so happy like that in my life up to that point. I had that dream, and then I was really marveled, because as of that time I was already living in Switzerland. Bear in mind, 1993, I was already living in Switzerland when I had that dream. And then I shared this vision with one of my prayer partner at a time, that this dream is something I had. It's baffling me, because I needed to know the interpretation, because I see myself running around with children in a very big field in Ghana. And that, my friend said, well, he cannot really give me the interpretation of that dream, but he want to advise me to go back and pray before I sleep the previous night, and ask if this dream is to be taken one-to-one, that God should reveal it again the second time. And therefore, that's what I did. I went to pray before I sleep the previous night, and God revealed the same dream exactly one-to-one, and I saw myself again playing, running around with children in a massive field here in Ghana. And so when I wake up, I knew that God has given me an assignment to work with children in Ghana. And then, considering also my background, knowing that I was actually not able to finish school myself because of financial problem, because my parents was not able to afford my school fees, so I faced different challenges growing up as a child in the school. So as a result of that, I knew that I was actually called to help the less privileged children, and to make sure that no child that crossed my path will be deprived from having accommodation or having shelter or going to school. Thank you.
Wow, this is amazing. Why did you choose Adenta instead of any other place?
Well, Adenta was led into my heart by divine appointment. As a young man, I was thinking of where to buy a house, to build a house for myself. So I decided to look around in Ghana at a time. We are talking about many years ago, almost 20-something years ago. So I was looking for where to buy a land to build a house. And then somebody directed me to come to Adenta. There are lands for sale, but it's a developing place. So I bought a land there those days, and then started building. In the time I started the construction of building the house, the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and the Lord said to me, the house you are building is actually not for you. And I was marveled with that. And then I asked, what is that? So I was kind of thinking Satan was talking to me. So I started rebuking Satan. And then I heard the voice again that this is the Holy Spirit speaking, that the house I am building is not for me, that the house I am building is for street children. And it shall be called Safe Haven, a place where it gives safety for children. And that was very hard, I must say the truth, but because I knew that it was the voice of God, so I hold on in building. And then I was meditating on that, vision and that voice that I have heard. And then God said to me, if you will build this house for the children, don't take anything out of the original blueprint, the original plan that you have already designed to build for yourself. Keep it that standard until you finish it and give it to the children. So, period to this time, we have started our church in Switzerland. So, we literally handed over the project to New International Church. I shared with them the vision and I told them, look at what the Lord has said. I was trying to build a place for me, but the Lord spoke to me to give it to the street children. So with the help of the church, we were able to put up and finish the building and put it up for the street children, and that is how we started Safe Haven, and that's exactly how we came to Adenta. And then of course, after that, we were able to see another big property that is known today as Nick International School, and we also bought that in the neighborhood, and then that's how we also built the school, which we are also still developing up to date.
Today you just concluded Parent Teachers Association meeting for the school. We would like to know, what is your impression about the outcome of the meeting?
Wow. Anyway, I have here with me Pastor David, which doubled to be the principal of Nick International School, and then we have some of our teachers here. So for that question, I will actually allow them to say few words themselves, because we just, as you rightly said, just concluded Parents Teachers Association meeting, which was a heavy success, and a lot of them turned up, and we discussed a lot of things for the future of the school. So Pastor David, principal, you will be in a better position to give your own contribution to that question.
Yes, thank you very much. As it has been introduced earlier on by Apostle, I'm the principal of the school. Actually, yes, Parent Teachers Association, PTA, as we call it, went very well. It was successful. Actually, there were new development coming up from the parent, which I was like, wow, this has not come to my doorstep. One of the things that they mentioned, and I was moved by, now the children can surf the internet and have one-on-one access with a laptop. They can access and then work with time, and also having email addresses to send mail, which when you compare it to other schools which are not being done. So this also came up, and I was like, wow, thank God the children are now getting used to the global village as an environment we are today. You know, we are in a computerized world. And then the parents were also like, they were happy, because when they compared the children's performance now to that of the previous schools that they were, there had been a great improvement, which I think gave a plus to the school. Thinking that we are not doing what we are not doing much of what we think, we realize that I think though the sky they say is the limit, I think we are beginning from the sky. So it's very impressive as the parents put it. Actually, in general, they were impressed about how we are going about things, the teaching that we are giving to the children, the training and all that. So I'm so much happy about the entire development.
Apart from the Nick International School project, we'd like to know, what are the other projects that you have in Ghana?
Yeah, I think before I answer that question, I think the other teachers here will also want to contribute their own impression about this concluded Parents Teachers Association meeting that we just had. So maybe this is one of our teachers. If you can introduce yourself, Maxwell, and tell them who you are.
My name is Maxwell Kwe, and I'm in charge of the junior high department of the school. This school has a bright future, has a vision, and we've been looking forward, and it's been a privilege and a honor to meet our patron today. and that was so awesome. Today we were able to interact with our patrons. We were able to collaborate our minds together to find out practical solutions and practical innovative ways that we can use, okay, to move to the vision in which we've planned on going to. And it has been amazing. It has been wonderful. As a teacher, from my perspective, what I've come to realize is that yes, we are putting much effort into transforming the lives of these children, both academically and both character-wise. And it has been something that the parents have applauded us for. And that's one thing I want to also applaud and appreciate from all the effort that our management team is putting in full force towards taking this school from this height to higher height. And we must say that we are all, as teachers and as staff of this school, are so much united that we are all trying to work all our effort and our goal into achieving the vision of this school, to becoming the best school in this vicinity. And I must appreciate the effort of our management team. Thank you.
Okay, so let's hear also from you.
An extension, like what my friend has already said. I don't have much to say. The PT meeting was successful. The parents was like saying good thing about the school. So that's what I can say about what we had today.
Okay, so let's go back to the question. You were asking me a question before. Can you ask that question again?
Yes, please. Back to the question. Apart from the NIC International School, we would like to know what are the other projects you have here in Ghana?
Oh, thank you. NIC, like I said earlier on before, actually, the first project that we started here in Ghana is called Safe Haven. It's a children home where we take, street children out from the street and abandoned children, some of them which have been dumped in a cemetery to die. Some of them have been thrown into rubbish bin. Some of them was on the street, very, very fragile and little children. We went around and with the help of Osu Children Home, which is also a governmental children home here in Ghana, which we work hand to hand with them. We are able to have these children, to take care of them, and so we brought them into a home that we built, which is called Safe Haven. And since 2011, to be precisely, which we inaugurated the first home that we built and take these children in. Since then, we have been taking care of all these children, feeding them, sending them to school, taking care of their medical needs, and etc., etc. But then after that project, we metamorphosed into building what we call today NIC International School, because we believe in dealing with mission from the root of the problem. So we find out that it will be good if we have a strong education system whereby we can have, like what we have today, interaction with the parent, and we can impact the parent, guide them in the right way, how to handle their children, and etc. And then at the same time provide these children that I say that they are less privileged, they are on the street, provide an education place whereby if they come to our home, then we can school them better and give them a better future. And so that was our second project, which is NIC International School. And then obviously we also have the church, NIC International Church, which is also very, very important aspect of our organization, because we believe that the spiritual aspect of the humanity is also important. So we are also imparting life through building and planting churches across Ghana. And our newest project, after we are done with the building of the school facility here in Adenta, in Accra area, we are actually heading to Aflawo. Aflawo is a border city between Ghana and Togo. And we're going to be heading to Aflawo. It's going to be another project that we already acquire a sizable land which is almost as big as the land where we are building the current school here in Accra, where we are now. It's also going to be developed for further building children home there and building school also for that region. And bear in mind, Aflawo is a border city where we can affect people coming from Togo, because people from Togo can be able to attend our school, and we can be able also to reach out to nation of Togo to help the less privileged people. And therefore we will also have the bilingual school there, which is English and French, because Togo, they speak French, and then Ghana speak English, so we will be able to affect those international dimensions. So I'm really excited for that next project. Immediately we are done with what we are doing here in Accra.
Wow. We noticed that you do different training seminars and conferences during the year in Ghana. Why do you think they are very important?
Wow. You know, education and training, you know, cannot be overemphasized. It's so important. Even our Holy Bible says that lack of knowledge, my people perish. And so that shows how important education is. Some of us, if we have known what we know today, in the early days of our life, my God, we would have been further than where we are today. So education, it's a powerful thing. Like I said, even though I was not able to finish the normal basic school the way I will want to finish it, I did not stop schooling. I did a lot of self-training. I went to Bible school, and I attended different training in order to enhance myself and enhance my knowledge today. And even today, I have a honorary doctorate degree, and etc., because I discovered that if I'm going to become somebody in the society, if I'm going to make it in the society, I need to inform myself. I need to be educated. And so I don't want anybody to be deprived of that. And that's why we do a lot of programs that we are doing in Ghana. Apart from our school, we run different courses, we run different seminars, not only here in Ghana, also in Switzerland. We have a project called School of Ministry. That School of Ministry is also targeted in enhancing and educating the believers and the body of Christ. So I really believe in education. So it's part of our organization is to educate people. So all the conferences we are doing over the year here in Ghana is really important, because it's there to help the Ghanaians and whoever that cares to be able to attend. And most of what we are doing here are free. We are not charging for all those training. And there is one that is ongoing right now, which we call it Let Your Glory Come. And it's going to continue. It started powerfully last night. It's going to continue today, and we finish tomorrow, Sunday.
As a minister of the gospel, what will you say about people that would like to invite you, but they believe that you, knowing that you live in Switzerland, they also believe that you are very expensive? So what will you tell to them?
That's amazing. Now let me say this. By the special grace of God, I've been privileged to minister in different dimensions. I've been invited by government officials to minister in different government houses in different nations. I've been invited by different Christian associations. Not too long ago, I was in a country called Indonesia, and I have the privilege to speak to the Full Gospel Business Association of that time. It was massive. It was a blessing. Different organizations, like in Switzerland, I've been privileged to speak to the Christian Association in Switzerland. I've been privileged to be invited yearly in different churches. Let me say this. Whenever I'm invited somewhere, and I want any minister that is watching also to take note of that. Whenever I'm invited somewhere, I don't think that is because I am the best. That's why the people invite me. I believe that I am there to contribute to what the people are already doing. You know, these ministers, they have this mindset that when a church or an organization invite them, they feel so proud that they think they are the best. It's like they don't even see that this is a collaboration of the ones trying to invite them is also trying to favor them to expose their ministry to a kind of geographical location, a kind of dimension that they have never been exposed to before. And so it's important that we learn that whenever any ministry invites us, it's a privilege. It's a privilege given to us. So we are called the servant of God. So we are there to serve them. So if you are thinking, I'm not really thinking about the money, I'm thinking about going to serve the people. Of course, if you honor what I have done for you, it helped me to know I have done a good job. But in the first place, it's not about how much you give me. So if people are afraid of inviting me because I live in Switzerland, they shouldn't be afraid anymore, because all the work I did speaks for itself. I do a lot of charity work which I don't have any return to it. So that shows that money is not my target. My target is to enlarge the kingdom and impart life and make sure that people are transformed by the power of the gospel. So again, I want to encourage any pastors. I personally invite a lot of people during the year to our different conferences in Switzerland, in Africa. If the people come and think I cannot do without them, then I stop inviting them, because the reason I invite you is not because you are the best preacher. It's because I feel that with you there is something you can offer, but there is also something we can give to you in order to keep iron sharpened iron. May God bless you. I hope I answer your question.
Yes, please. Thank you so very much. I would like our last question. We would like to know, as you said that there's an ongoing program that started yesterday.
Yes.
We would like to know, why do you think it is important for people to come?
Wow, I thought I was already ahead to say that. Look, it cannot be overemphasized. Every man of God carry a different anointing. Every man of God. God will raise a man